This is my oral presentation, Heather Mackay. For the purpose of my interview, I interviewed a primary school teacher. They are in the education sector. According to prospects, there are teaching opportunities in several groups, for example, adult education, early years, which is 0 to 5 years old, primary, secondary, and in special educational needs, otherwise known as SEN. Job opportunities don't stop there. You can also go into careers such as educational psychologists, school liaison officers, career guidance officers, and education admissions. Such roles obviously mean that employers are universities, private schools, local education authorities, and educational charities. At the moment, in the sector, there is encouragement with bursaries up to £25,000 for graduates to teach physics, chemistry, biology, maths and computing. This suggests that there is a need for good teaching in these fields and that it is a priority, whereas people in my degree, Sociology, and in Psychology and Media Studies may not be a priority to get the job. In my interview, I found out that my interviewee at my stage at year 1 of university did not have any thoughts on what she wanted to do afterwards. She was planning on getting a bachelor's degree in business and seeing where it left her. However, when she got to second and third year, she started looking at doing a master's in postgraduate certificate of education. I learnt that she recently had been appointed to the position as an SEN coordinator. She saw this as a way of gaining more power and leadership skills. She informed me that to keep her position, she must first obtain an award in SEN coordination. This award also contributes to 160 credits towards a master's in Senko. This position is not one that she expected to obtain. However, she saw it as the perfect opportunity to advance with her career. Developing her skills and knowledge in different fields is a great way of progress, she said to me. She said that in teaching it's a very organised career, otherwise known as an organisational career. Promotion in primary schools is very much you start as a teacher and then you can become a head of department or have a coordinator role. You then could become an assistant or deputy head and then go on to be a head teacher if you wanted to. However, she said to me that a head teacher is more of a management role than anything else, and she enjoyed teaching fundamentally. So management was not a role that she wanted to go into. She also said that by taking on her recent Senko role that she had less teaching than before, and this was something that kind of upset her because that was her favourite part of the job. From my interview, I found that it's important not to get too ahead of yourself and that you can plan to a certain extent, but in a job such as teaching, you have to be aware that there are roles that can pop up that you aren't prepared for, such as her role. She wasn't prepared to get a Senko role and did not plan to get this, but it was an opportunity that she could not turn down, as it meant that she could get more money, gain more skills, and if she was to be fired or be made redundant, or if she went off to have children and quit her job and did not go back to her job till years later, it meant that she could have more skills that were applicable to other jobs, which kind of relates to the educational psychologist route. She said to me that she had a friend who had been a teacher became a teacher at the same time as herself, and first she just taught normal secondary school, and then she kind of got bored with the role, so she decided to go train as a psychologist but specialise in education. She said that having a background as a teacher and just in the education sector was fundamental to her getting her degree in education psychology and being reputable. It also meant that she was picked for a job. She was a lot when interviewed for roles, like for example in the NHS, she stood a better chance of getting the job compared to people who did not have the background or the experience. She knew exactly what she would be looking for in diagnosis and just looking at different ways and helping people. I also was informed that when you do a PGCE, for example, at my stage, when you go from straight from a bachelor's or undergraduate degree, if you go straight to doing a master's in a PGCE, the university that you are at has a quota that it must stick to, so it has to take on a certain percentage of students from the university, and then some from outside as well. So it's important to keep that in mind. Also, I asked her how competitive the Masters was for future reference, and she said that they are often oversubscribed, but it's important to keep in mind that if you have a relevant degree or you show enthusiasm, that you probably have better skills, qualifications, and just a factor about you that is more likely to be picked to be on the course than someone who has not recently graduated or have much experience or transferable skills in that area.